What's happening, crypto fam? Happy Wednesday. Good morning and welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott and it's a pleasure to have you here. I appreciate taking the time out to consume the content, so thank you. We're up a bit early today, not had much sleep. My eyes a bit of a mess. Sleep in my eyes. Apologies. I was sent something by June yesterday, thank you June. I nearly did a video on it yesterday evening, but I couldn't find the time. I was busy. I am all over that remote control car project. I'm so excited to show people what's coming from that in the future, as well as many other things. When she sent me this, I had a think on it yesterday. I was looking at it. It was making me laugh. I didn't even read it all, to be perfectly honest. I was like, oh, do a video about that later. And I like to read it fresh on the videos. And I never really picked it back up. But the title said it all. For me. Because they're leaving out vital information when they talk about these things. And with the IMF SDR basket review coming up, it's extremely interesting times to be looking at this stuff. So, from Crypto News, link in the description with some info. It's official. China's digital yuan to target US dollar dominance. Really? Really, Crypto News? Really? Oh, they're in the tech race. Mate. Okay. The autumn, second day of autumn, guys. You don't know why I've got the sniffles. It's a change in temperature. Yeah, it's just flipped. The Central People's Bank of China confirmed that it is ready to take center stage on a new battlefield of competition between sovereign nations based on digital fiats, and claims its own new token could outbreak dollar dominance. The People's Bank of China has been relatively cagey about its digital yuan project, which is already in advanced testing stages, but permitted itself a rare opportunity to discuss the importance of central bank digital currencies. Per Reuters, the People's Bank of China stated in an official mouthpiece publication that the issuance and circulation of the digital yuan would bring great changes to existing international finance. The bank added China has many advantages and opportunities in issuing fiat digital currencies, so it should accelerate the pace to seize the first attack. I've got to put attack in my head, man. It says track. To seize the first track. They're making me think to go to fucking war with these headlines and shit. Despite recent cautionary announcements, the People's Bank of China claimed that China needed to establish a new payment system network to break the dollar monopoly as a key part of yuan internationalization, with the digital yuan the cornerstone in this effort. The bank added that improved data feedback from its CBDC would help enhance monetary policy transmission, boosting chances of a faster economic recovery from the, you guessed it, COVID pandemic. You know, because that's what caused it. Not like anyone knew it was coming anyway, you know what I mean? Like, ooh. The world allocated reserves by currency in 2019. I mean, I'm sorry about my phone. I can't get it fixed. They won't fix it. But that big dark blue one is a US dollar, man. Whoa! What's happened there? Go away, Ozai. I've offered you food already, mate, and you just got off. And I'm doing a video to move. Elsewhere, it was reported that chief architect of China information fintech Chen Honghong told attendees at the recent China Beijing International Science and Technology Industry Expo that digital currency compatible wallet apps would play a crucial role in allowing commercial banks to speed up the implementation, promotion, and adoption of the digital yuan. As previously reported, a software developer that develops apps for commercial banks recently became the latest company to admit was working with the People's Bank of China on its digital currency project. Right. It ended. Tim Alper. Listen. You write articles for a news site and submit them online as I'm a journalist. You subject to fucking ridicule, mate. Half of you are critics yourselves, try to criticise fucking life, nature, climate change, and all the rest of it, right? So we're allowed to criticise you. Tim, sort your articles out, do a bit of research, eh? And realise that the new reserve currency isn't going to be a fiat CBDC. It's not going to be fiat physical. It's not going to be a CBDC fiat. It's not going to be a country's fucking currency. We've said this hundreds of times. I don't like lying, and I don't think it's hundreds. Possibly, if you mix what I've said with what Kurt said, with what a few of the other community have said. But anyway, it ain't about that shit. That was in 2020, September 21, September 21st, 2020, right? So, I'm not going back into China calls for this, European bank calls for this, blah, 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 but reserve currency on Google, in the description. Have a little look if you want. No, it's going to just look like a standard wiki page, and you might, if you go into the top, it's going to be a reserve currency, then there's a bit of history, global currency reserves, FIAT, major reserve currencies, and you might already be bored. If you'd have kept going a little bit more, you have calls for an alternative reserve currency. Now, this came from 2008, 2019, when the Bank of China, I think they was one of the first to start calling for it. And then legitimately the year later, you was having the G20 meetings did not exist before then, guys. That is what they started meeting for. Yeah? So a report released by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development in 2010 called for abandoning the US dollar. Not like adding other currencies with it. They're already doing that. That's the SDR basket. They've already tried that. They've tried the basket of currencies. They've been trying it for 10 flaming years, not longer. The report states that the new reserve system should not be based on a single currency or even multiple national currencies, current SDR basket, but instead permit the emission of international liquidity. So it's going to be said so many ways, that word, I love it. The international liquidity to create a more stable global financial system. Countries such as Russia, the People's Republic of China, central banks and economic analysts, learn to read, Scott, and groups such as the Gulf Cooperation Council have expressed a desire to see an independent new currency replace the dollar as the reserve currency. On 10th of July 2009, Russian President proposed a new world currency at the G8 meeting in London as an alternative. It's the G8 meetings that was happening, the G20. I might have got that a little wrong before. The G8 meetings might have been the ones that started them, but I'm pretty sure it was the G20 ones. You have to have a look. The G8 meeting in London, yeah, because they had a Washington one in 2008 and then they had a London one in 2009. It was the G8 meetings, didn't happen before this shit. It was the G8 meetings. He proposed a new world currency at the G8 meeting in London as an alternative reserve currency to replace the dollar. At the beginning of the 21st century, gold and crude oil was still priced in dollars, which helps export inflation and has brought complaints about OPEC's policies for managing oil quotas to maintain dollar price stability. Where was this in your article, Tim? Hey? Was this in your article, Tim? I'm watching you journalists. It's not that they're all even lying. It's what they leave out allows people to go, ooh, America and China go to war about currency. What the fuck? Special drawing rights. Some have proposed the use of the International Monetary Fund's special drawing rights as a reserve. China has proposed using SDRs, calculated daily from a basket of US dollar, euro, Japanese yen, British pounds for international payments. Excuse me. On September the 3rd, 2009, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development issued a report calling for a new reserve currency based on the SDR managed by a new global reserve bank. The IMF released a report in February 2011 stating that using SDRs could help stabilize the global financial system. 2011, now, yeah. How's that going? How's that going, Jimmy? Hey, that SDR shit. How's that going, lad? Yeah, still in the shit, aren't we? Yeah. Pull your socks up and come up with another idea, mate, because that ain't working. That ain't working. Further reading at the bottom, we've got some references. Always follow the references if you're interested. It's interesting. Let's go. There's a theory. Let's have a look at this theory section. Economists debate whether a single reserve currency will always dominate the global economy. Many have recently argued that one currency will almost always dominate due to network externalities. Externalities. The fuck's that word? Sometimes called the network effect, especially in the field of invoicing, trade, and denominating foreign debt securities, meaning that there are strong incentives to conform to the choice that dominates the market. The argument is that the absence of sufficiently large shocks, a currency that dominates the marketplace, will not lose much ground to challengers. That's extremely interesting. We like to say XRP's currently setting the standard. It's the fastest. It's the most reliable. But it's not going to be the only one. There's going to be a choice down the line. Now, if they was going to introduce a healthy choice, where is it? Where is it? And is this why XRP is manipulated? Is this why the whole market's manipulated? While they simply wait to be ready. I honestly believe there's a Chinese XRP coming, and I don't think it's XRP exactly the same. I think Russia are picking up XLM, or they're going to make their own. And I think people are going to use multiple currencies as choice, and they'll try and do it in a way that no one currency runs away with it. So if XRP had been allowed to run and was, say, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $10 now, no other coin has a chance. They keep it low until the others are released, and then they let them all go in a level playing field. If one dominates, then it's just the way it is, innit? You can't always have your cake and eat it. Sometimes a fly's got there first, mate. So, however, some economists such as Barrett, that's an 8. H and Green, I don't know how to say that, argue that this is not as true when it comes to the denomination of official reserves because the network externalities are not strong. External. Sort your terminology out and just put a normal fucking word in, will you? I'm got a Google for it, mate. I don't give a shit, mate. So I don't know the word, I'm what? Shoot me, mate. I'll fucking know it in a minute. Never miss an opportunity to become more intelligent. Google, help me become more intelligent. Externalities, meaning every day's a school day, guys. Don't do it to yourself. A consequence of an industrial or commercial activity which affects other parties without this being reflected in market prices, such as the pollination of surrounding crops by bees kept for honey. Interesting. Externalities. The network externalities. Stuff that it's interesting. You still could have a better fucking word for it. As long as the currencies market is sufficiently liquid, the benefits of the reserve diversification are strong, as it insures against large capital losses. The implication is that the world may well soon begin to move away from a financial system dominated uniquely by the US dollar. In the first half of the 20th century, multiple currencies did share the status as primary reserve currencies, although the British sterling was the largest currency. Both the French franc and the German mark shared large portions of the market until the First World War, after which the mark was replaced by the dollar. Since the Second World War, the dollar has dominated official reserves. Because of the gold. I don't want to fall out of any Americans, so we'll leave that alone. But this is likely a reflection of the unusual domination of the American economy during this period, as well as official discouragement of reserve status from the potential rivals Germany and Japan. The top reserve currency is generally selected by the banking community for the strength and stability of the economy in which it is used. Thus, as a currency becomes less stable or its economy becomes less dominant, bankers may over time abandon it for a currency issued by a larger or more stable economy. This can take a relatively long time, as recognition is important in determining reserve currency. For example, it took many years for the United States after the United States overtook the United Kingdom as the world's largest economy, before the dollar overtook the pound sterling as the dominant global reserve currency. In 1944, when the US dollar was chosen as the world reserve currency at Bretton Woods, it was only the second currency in global reserves. Excuse me. That's very interesting, that. So don't be surprised if in the next couple of years it comes out that China's economy's gone bigger than America's. China's the biggest economy in the world, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's going to be like, oh, well, it's only a matter of time until the yuan's a world currency now. Always happens. And again, they won't put in the article that for the last 10 years have all been crying for one that's not an actual national currency. So put it in your article, Tim. In 1944, when the US dollar was chosen as a world reserve currency at Bretton Woods, it was only the second. The G8 also frequently issues public statements to exchange rates in the past due to the Plaza Accord. Its predecessor bodies could directly manipulate rates to reverse large trade deficits. Interesting. Naughty, very naughty. Naughty. So I just want to point out, currencies changed many times. Yeah? The world reserve, the global world reserve has changed many times. It's about to change again. This is bigger than decimalization. And again, not many people are going to even know what that is, but if your granddad's still alive, go and ask him. I mean, your parents might remember it. Only early 70s. If they're in the late 50s, approaching the 60s, it's highly likely they're gonna remember decimalization. Now let me just get this up here now. Decimalization. I can't spell. Decimal day. I wonder if we have a digital day. We have a digital day when the last fiat's gone. Or when the last pound coin's gone or something. Decimal day in the United Kingdom and in Ireland was on 15th of February 1971, the day on which the country decimalised its respective pounds currency. Ooh. Before this date, the United Kingdom... Oh, yeah... See, I knew this, but you forget it at times, right? In the United Kingdom, the British pound was made up of 20 shillings, each of which was made up of 12 pence, for a total of 240 pence per pound. Yeah? Interesting. With the decimalisation, the pound kept its old value and name, and the only changes in relation to the subunits, the shilling was abolished, the pound was subdivided into 100 new pence, abbreviated P, each of which was worth 2.4 old pence, abbreviated D. In Ireland, the Irish pound had a similar currency structure and similar changes took place. Not taking my fucking pound off me. They are. They're taking your physical pound off you. You're going to lose it. It's going to go digital. There will be a time where, just as they look at that decimalisation, I mean, it is a thing. Don't decimal day. It happened. It's known in the past. We all know what else happened in the early 70s regarding the petrodollar and shit. So, yeah, a lot of stuff was happening during that time. The main point is currencies disappeared. The fucking 50 pence, 20 pence piece. The kids are going to be like, 20 pence piece. You know, like if you went up to him now and said, if you go up to a 16-year-old right fucking now in England, because I think they've still got them in Scotland and Ireland. Go up to a 16-year-old kid in England right now and ask them if they got a pound note. Ask them if they got a pound note. And you're going to get a look. Right? You're going to get a certain kind of fucking look. Fucking pound note. You mean a pound coin, mate? You fucking pound note, you dickhead. Get the fuck away from me, you knob. Seriously, go and ask one. And I tell you, that look is going to be the same look in 2035 if you walk up to a 16-year-old in 2035 and say, have you got a pound coin, mate? What, a pound coin? You mean like them collectible things my fucking granddad's got? People need to wake the fuck up. There's too many people out there acting like currencies never change. There's too many people out there acting like the dollar's on this big fucking armoured podium and it can't be knocked off the top. Its days are numbered. The ladders are being put up. There's people climbing to the podium to tear him down already. It's taking longer than they thought, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You say goodbye to your shillings and all that back in the day. Well, say goodbye to your 20 pence piece. Say goodbye to your 10 pence piece, your 50p. Yeah, your £2 coin. What's a £2 coin? Fucking £2 coin? A coin? Like what they used to use in history. Coin. I don't even like that. Coin. Fucking coin. Anyway, right. Seriously, so I wanted to just make people aware and keep people aware that the IMF SDR review is coming soon. That is quite big regarding all this shit. This is what you cared about. What's going to be the next reserve currency? Even though it'll be a fiat and barely fucking moon. And for the Forex traders, I fully understand it. Forex traders are like, yo, which currency is going to end up the next big daddy? Fair enough. But for everyone else who thinks that, like, something getting pegged as a reserve currency is automatically going to make them rich, they need to go up to the bathroom, look in the mirror and slap themselves in the face. That's what they deserve. Anywho, you know the dance. Invest in your hobbies, yourself, the internet of value, your family, everything. Invest in everything you love, everything you're passionate about. Do it as much as you can. Live long and hodl it for as long as you can. Until you're ready to let it go. Yeah? I've been debating selling a lot of my comic stuff and that lately, just to get a bit of value in and put it somewhere else, because I am a massive geek, and I used to love sitting there looking at the comics thinking, "Fuck, it could be worth thousands one day." But that value could be being used right now. So yeah, I need to assess that. You need to assess what you're hoarding, yeah, what you could be selling, what you could be flogging, what you could be playing with the kids in that. Countless potential and opportunities when the new technology is coming about. If you have got a business, we are going ham with Warrior Training in Ellesmere Port. We've got to give a consulting for them, advising and consulting on how they can update their gym. Bring it right in to the 21st century, ready for the flaming 22nd century. Digital revolution. Let's get the wheels on and get moving, because we've got some big plans for them. Get some tech in there, get some challenges on the go, get an app built with some blockchain rewards and stuff, and a token that can then be spent on their site. And so yeah, we're sitting down again with them soon. So if you would like to hire us, I'm telling you, the prices are cheap as fuck at the moment. As a little consultancy, I mean, we can come down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, have a little chat, and just ignite ideas in your head and go away and never come back. And you handle everything yourself, you outsource it, and you go and get the people to do what you wanted to do. And we was legitimately just ideators, coming up with ideas for you. Legitimately worth it. Ask Simeon. I spent 2 hours at his gym, and by the time I left, the ideas we'd come up with, and the progress that was made just during that small amount of time had him absolutely buzzing. He couldn't get moving fast enough. He really couldn't. They've had to go on holiday now, so we have actually had to postpone it a little bit. But as soon as they're back, you'll hear more information on that. Wireless Racer, we've partnered with them to get some content and some projects off the ground. So what I'm doing, I've told a few people, I'll just tell you, I'm trying to make the RC car with a camera on the bonnet, so you can put some goggles on, you can sit in a chair with a steering wheel and drive the car anywhere. And we will look at rigging out an RV or a bus or something, put some chairs in it, some steering wheels, have all the cars in the cab, drive to a track, and the drivers don't even really need to get out the truck. The cars go on the track and the drivers are in the back of the truck, and it will be a mobile RC unit. Oh yeah. So that's going to take a couple of years anyway, but the Kickstarter, keep your eyes open on the Kickstarter, because we are going to run a Kickstarter of up to around 250, 500k. We need some money to get a workshop, a factory, so people can come in and really start building towards something. So keep eyes open on that. There will be perks. There will be you will get something for donating on the Kickstarter. There'll be a GoFundMe. I don't know if you know how they work, but GoFundMe drips you the money as and when you want it, when you're getting it, right? So you can basically take a running wage off GoFundMe, because you can just keep getting it. And if you don't reach what you asked for, it don't fucking matter. You still got paid or what you asked for. If you go on Kickstarter and ask for £500,000, and in the time you give, you only get £499,000 donated, you don't get any of that money. You was £1 off your pledge, yeah, and you don't get shit. So you could put £1 pledge, like we want £1, and then you end up with 500k, and you're fucking rocking. Do you know what I mean? But you just got to be careful when you Kickstarter it. We will also be opening a Patreon for some live streams while we're working on projects, for people to listen in a little bit to some meetings now and then. Not too much information, but if you pay the Patreon, you will get access to some of the consulting meetings and stuff. So it's very exciting times. A lot of it's probably not going to come to full fruition until about January. But again, if you want a consultancy, get it while it's cheap. Get it while it's cheap, because it won't be the price it is forever. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Wishing health and happiness to you and yours. We love crypto, we love IOV, and we love you. Until next time, Peace.